What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 117 of Next Gen Newsweek. My name is Mitch. Joining me, as always, Richard. Good morning.
Hello.
And
Good morning.
and Chase. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have a great show for you, as always. We have a lot of little things that have turned into one big epic news show for you this week. But before we get into the news, we're going to do like we always do, and we're going to start off with what we have been playing this past week. Chase, do you want to take it away?
I can do that. I just realized all my games have a theme this week. First up is Death's Door, which I picked up a few months ago from a special reserve game. It's really incredible. It's another gem from Devolver Digital. It's got that kind of top angle isometric look that Hades has, but it plays like a Zelda game. The combat and dodging feels so smooth and simple, but it's challenging to master. There's cool puzzles to figure out, hidden collectibles, and upgrades spread throughout the game. There's secret areas you have to have a sharp eye to notice. There's optional bosses that upgrade your abilities. Exploration and enemy fights feel very, very rewarding. You choose what points you want to upgrade whenever you're leveling up perks. It's got a really great story with a dash of humor. It's basically got everything I would want in a game and more. It's got a bunch of post-game content that you can do after you beat the game, and then there's like if you 100% everything, there's a true ending, which is really, really cool. There's no difficulty settings, however. You can pick up a variety of weapons on your playthrough, but there's an achievement for beating the game with only the umbrella, which you can snag toward the beginning of the game, and it does a 50% less damage than your normal sword. It's not recommended that you do this starting out because you really want to learn the enemy patterns before taking time to double, your time on taking them down. But I did get the platinum, and the umbrella achievement was really fun and frustrating. But it felt like my platinum trophy was well earned. It's out on all current consoles, and it's one of the better indie titles out right now. So if you're looking for a Zelda fix to hold you to over May, pick this up. The next game I played this week was The Outbound Ghost, and shortly into the game, I could see why the developer was so upset that they published the game in the condition that it was released. This game looks like that Paper Mario spinoff where you play as a ghost that helps others ascend into the afterlife. I'm only into the second chapter of the game, and overall the gameplay is good. It's okay, but it's incredibly buggy in its current state. Like 3D models are half loaded or exploded. Textures pop, music glitches, load times feel like way lengthier than they should be. And my character fell through the map once, and I had to reset the game to my last save point. The developer stated, "I never wanted this version of this game to come out, but due to the circumstances out of my control, this is the one that was released. I'm doing everything I can to get the relevant parties to fix their mistakes, and I will keep you up to date as much as I possibly can." And I feel bad for this guy because the game is kind of fun. I haven't finished it yet, but I should be able to knock it out this week. And last up on my Dead Things week is the new Dead Space remake that I got early.
Oh.
Oh.
Is this a Callisto Protocol kind of thing again?
Yes.
Nice.
I lucked up and got a early release of the game. It feels really good. I'd never played the original games, but I do know this is fairly faithful remake because I've gotten stuck a few times and had to look up a guide, and I just used the old guide and it's working fine. They did add voice acting. They had a ton of accessibility features to the game. It looks gorgeous. The controller vibrations are great on the DualSense. I will say this. So I have played Callisto Protocol and Dead Space. The Callisto Protocol feels way more survival and strategic play compared to Dead Space, but that's I got a little bit of difference between the two. But yeah, I want to say like I looked up and I said I'm in chapter 8 right now, and there's 12 chapters, so I'm about 2/3 of the way through. So I'm gonna try to get it wrapped up before moving on to Forspoken.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. You get to play that game early.
Yeah, it's been great.
Richard, what have you been playing this past week?
All right, so I promise I'm going to start playing games of substance eventually, or eventually, so that I can bring something to the show. I'm playing Roblox more than I'd care to admit. And there's just these tycoon type games that are so satisfying. Aside from that, there was that big announcement that Chase posted about, was it this SteamWorld Build? I
Hmm.
think is the title. It's
Yeah.
not out yet, but that's a cool world that they have an odd array of genres within that same franchise.
Hmm.
I think it started with like a tower defense game, and then they put out two Metroidvania games, and then they put out a sort of like a tactics game,
Hmm.
and then you also have, let's say it's an RPG, but it's kind of akin to like the Darkest Dungeon, and there's a game called Plague Doctor that has that same sort of. If you've played those, then you know what I'm talking about. I played SteamWorld Dig 1, and I got halfway through 2, and then for whatever reason I stopped. This was years and years ago.
Hmm.
So because of that announcement, which SteamWorld Build looks like a city building sim,
Hmm.
all in the same universe. So I'm about halfway through the first one. Like I said, I've done it before, so it's going to be a quick run. But then I'm going to go through and I'm going to do SteamWorld 2, and then I'm going to do Heist, and then I'm going to do the Hand of Gilgamesh.
All right.
I think that's the RPG one, because those are like small little nugget based games. I don't want to jump in anything. I've got God of War, but as much as I want to play it and I know that I'm going to love it, I'm going to stop playing it on February 7th, no matter what point I'm at. So I don't want to do that just yet. I don't want to start anything major, because whatever I start is going to be stopped on February 7th. So, and
For
a little bit of Fortnite sprinkled in there. So
for context, Hogwarts Legacy releases in earlier the deluxe edition releases on February 7th, so that's what he's referring
there
to.
you go. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, if you don't want the deluxe, then you'll be playing it on the 10th, and I'll be way ahead of you.
Well,
Me
see
and
if I
Mitch.
if I get it on
Maybe
the,
Chase. I don't know. Chase, are you getting the deluxe?
Probably not getting the deluxe.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
getting whatever
Well,
Then
version
me and Mitch
comes
will be
with
ahead of everybody else.
whatever version comes with the
But
dark arts
I'll
thing.
catch up quick.
Yeah,
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 you'll finish before us, but
yeah,
we'll be ahead of you for a few days.
yeah. So my sister's birthday is on the 10th, so I imagine buying it and playing it on the 7th opens me up to being able to spend time with my sister on the 10th versus where originally it was, sorry, I'm not hanging out with you. I'm playing Harry Potter today. So I'm sure if we're even both off to make something like that happen, she would definitely appreciate it. Um, for me, it's your usual stuff. Your little bit of Mario Karts, your little bit of Fortnites. Been playing a lot of Phasmophobia recently. Got a lot of new people into that game. It's been super fun getting to see people who've never played it before just get the shit scared out of them because they don't know what's going on. And myself included, I consider myself a veteran. I've been playing that game for years now, and still getting the shit scared out of me playing that game. It doesn't give me nightmares like it used to, so I mean that's good. And then obviously Fire Emblem Engage came out last Friday. Been trying to put as much time into it as I can, but only having one day off week, it's really hard to do that. But I think I'm on chapter 5. There's 26 chapters in that game, so I got a little bit of a ways to go. Far as I can tell, they've stepped up. I feel like the combat's nicer than it was in Three Houses. There's not a lot of the school nonsense stuff happening in the background. So I mean, you're going from like fight to fight to fight. So I don't think it's going to take as long, as of right now at least. It doesn't feel like it's going to take as long to beat as Three Houses, and it's only one campaign versus that game had 3 different campaigns. Actually, 4 campaigns you could run through. So probably won't take as long to beat it once I finally sit down and do it. I'm just happy because I started playing it and there was a cat and I couldn't pet the cat in the game, and then I found out you actually can pet the cats later on, which is just like, why would you put animals in a game that you can't pet? Like Hogwarts Legacy, you can pet giant goat monsters and hippogriffs and whatever. It's like, oh, in Fire Emblem, you can't even pet this cat. That would be sad. So I'm glad.
Maybe the cat's more dangerous. You know, you got to look at context.
Yeah, but your character is like a everyone in Fire Emblem. Not, and this is not a spoiler for Engage. This is just a thing. Everyone in Fire Emblem somehow is a dragon. So I mean, like, I don't think that you should. A dragon should be concerned with a cat giving you any problems. I did also spend a little bit of time playing God of War, but I started playing it and I was just like, I don't know what it is about that game. I just cannot make myself sit there and play it for long periods of time, and I hate that. I want to finish that game because I know
you're still talking about the first one.
No. I'm on Ragnarok. I gave up on the first one.
You never finished the first one.
No, I didn't finish.
You're never gonna finish the second one.
I didn't finish it because the ending got spoiled. So what the hell is the point in playing it? And so far, I have yet to be spoiled on the ending of Ragnarok. And I know the longer that I put it off, I'm gonna get spoiled, and I'm gonna hate every bit of it when that happens. But one day I'll finish it, and then I'll feel very proud of myself. But there's also Richard's gonna hate this. There's been this urge to go back and play The Last of Us again.
Also feel that. Yeah.
Imagine that.
Do that soon.
Imagine that. Well, and I'm a big, obviously we're running a show that originally started as just a podcast, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and so not only is there a companion podcast for the HBO show, but Sony put out a The Last of Us podcast right before part 2 came out, and it was like 4 episodes that was, breaking down how they made the first game, and then they were releasing another episode every week once part 2 came out, and it was like telling you how they made that game. And so I've actually been going back and listening to that one. I don't really care about the HBO one, but because I'm more of I like understanding how game development works and all of that stuff. So I've been enjoying going back and listening to that, which it's on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you probably get your podcasts from, if you do that stuff. But anyway, it's just great. It's a great listen, even if you don't care about The Last of Us in particular, because it's just like a big breakdown of like how game development, voice acting, and motion captures and all that other stuff work. So it's a nice listen. But let's let's jump over to what's coming out this week, or what already has come out. I think the big release or one of the big releases, Forspoken, came out on, what is today? It came out yesterday officially. People have been playing it for a while. It's been getting mixed reviews, I'd say. I was gonna say it for the end, but we were talking. I had the Metacritic scores pulled up here between this and Fire Emblem, because those are the two most recent notable releases. And Fire Emblem sitting at a 82, Forspoken sitting at a 68 on Metacritic.
68. Yeah.
It was sitting at a 69, which was kind of funny, but it's people are they kind of praise the action in it, but the story is just supposedly not there. And maybe this is just me and my starting to get old phase, but apparently the main character is just a walking F-bomb. She's every other word is fuck. I don't know if I need to bleep that out, but whatever. But it's
so she's like Negan in the comic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She's like Negan, but she's not as intimidating. It's just but it sucks. And anytime a game comes out where they don't give out review copies to most people, kind of sets you off as this is not going to be as good as people were probably expecting it to be. And I think the big thing is that and this I know this is an every game thing, but if you look at a trailer for Forspoken, the game looks gorgeous. Some of the stuff they showed off for this looks ridiculous. And then you see the real game, it didn't look anything like that. And even with the way that this game looks in its final state, requires a $800 graphics card on a computer to make it look like that. So I haven't seen gameplay of what it looks like running on the bare minimum specs, but if you got to have, a RTX 3080 graphics card to hit 720p at 60 frames per second on your game, there's a problem. To hit 1080, you have to have a $1,500 graphics card. So this game is obviously it's not optimized well. And I kind of think that Square just wanted to get this out because they know that Final Fantasy 16 is coming out in a couple months, and that's kind of like the game they're really banking on. But because Forspoken was supposed to come out, what was it, last year, and then it got delayed and then delayed.
Yeah,
so it's like a cyberpunk kind of thing where finally they're like, guys, we got to get this thing out. We can't just keep sitting on this thing. So I hate that. I was like one of those games I was so excited for, and then they kind of did a death loop with it where they just kept showing it in trailers, and it was like the same footage over and over again. It's like, this game, no, stop it. Now, granted, Deathloop ended up being one of my favorite games of all time, and not saying Forspoken won't be, but I played the demo, and the demo was not fun. So, probably not going to pick this up until it's on like a super good sale or something, and then we can talk about maybe Mitch picking it up. Other than that, yesterday also was the release for Kingdom Rush for the Xbox systems and Risen for PS4, Xbox, and Switch. Getting pretty good reviews. I've never heard of this game. It's called Risen. Also,
yeah, that threw me off. Risen came out years ago.
It's probably like a re-release or something for the new system.
It's got to be like a re-release, or I don't think they rebooted or remade it. But yeah, Risen came out. Wasn't that like a 360 thing?
Well, let's see.
And it looks like, graphic-wise, it looks like
It was originally released in October of 2009 for PC, February 2010 for Xbox 360, and then it's now been ported to everything else. So
yeah, because there's like a whole series. I think there's like a Risen 2 and a Risen 3.
I've never played.
And then when I saw that, I was like, well, that's odd.
World War Z got a PS5 Xbox Series version that was released yesterday. Have y'all ever played World War Z? Because a lot of people swear by that being one of the best zombie games ever made, and I've never played it.
No.
Well then,
I'm probably never gonna play a zombie game ever again.
Hey, there's zombies in Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry,
yeah, but it's not a zombie game. Like, I don't know. I'm so burnt out of that. I feel like that's been like the last 20 years with the Walking Dead and now Last of Us, and it just won't stop.
Hey, the Last of
Everything's
Us are not
post-apocalyptic. They just call them a different name, and they ate hot dog buns and they turned into mushrooms. That's just the way to sum it up.
What a great way of summing that up. Oh man. Yeah, and also throwing that Dying Light and Dead Island both. There are a lot of zombies.
Yeah, I mean it's everywhere.
I love them. I cannot wait for Dead
Once
Island
upon
2
a
got
time,
delayed. Right. Oh, go ahead.
I did Once Upon a Time, but then I don't know. I guess it's the same effect that you have with like game trailers.
You get burnt out.
It gets to be too much, man.
Well, back when Call of Duty was on like an annual release schedule, every 2 years or so, I had a new round-based zombies game to go play. So that was always something. And then whenever the first one that came out was Dead Island. That was the first like kind of open world zombie game to come out, and it was a nice change of pace. And then I went, because I was an Xbox guy, didn't have PlayStation until I had a PS1, and then I had a PS4, so I had a big jump there. And I didn't even I knew of The Last of Us, but never played it until the PS4 version. And then so like there was like, Dead Island still kind of like an arcadey RPG zombie game, and never got to do like the full like emotional roller coaster zombie game that game is for forever. And now it's like I want to play more of those. Like I love the arcadey zombie games, but like I just wish other studios would put as much effort into a game like Naughty Dog put into The Last of Us as far as the story goes. But that's all personal opinion. But we also got Devolver Tumble Time coming to iOS and Android tomorrow. Hitman World of Assassination, which is pretty much just like the repackaging of Hitman 1 through 3 into one game. Coming out on PlayStation and Xbox or tomorrow, and then the Dead Space remake comes out Friday, unless you're Chase and he's already playing it. So, I have a coworker that said he's going to let me borrow the Callisto Protocol, so I'll be able to.
Okay.
I'm going to finally get to play that, and then hopefully start on Dead Space sometime soon, because I'm quickly falling behind already. Like, the month just started and I'm already falling behind on playing new release games. And it's like, it's not going to slow down at all. So I gotta, like, I already know I'm not playing Forspoken.
It's a good problem to have.
It is. And like, so I know Forspoken, I've already written that off. I'm just not going to play it. So it's pretty much going to be, got to catch up with Callisto Protocol. I got to finish Fire Emblem and play Dead Space before whatever comes out in February that I've already forgotten about, that I'm sure there's something crazy. I know there's a Kirby game coming out, but I have no interest in playing that. But I'm sure that there's something else coming out in February that's going to really just be like, I got to play that. And
Hogwarts.
oh, yeah, there it is. I already forgot about it. I'm going to play Hogwarts Legacy until Zelda comes out, and then I'm going to play Zelda until whatever. I'm assuming there's a Mario game coming out this year, so I'll probably play Zelda until Mario comes out, and those will be the 4 games that I play this year, and that's just it. So, all right, let's get into the news. This kind of dropped last week. I don't remember if it dropped right before the show or right after the show, but PlayStation confirmed, or Sony confirmed, 30 plus games that are going to be in the launch window for the PSVR 2. I'm not going to go through this whole list. There's a lot of games here, but couple of notable ones here. The Dark Pictures Switchback, which Dark Pictures anthology game, supposedly super good. Never played any of them. That's one of them. Gran Turismo 7's getting an update to where you'll be able to play the entire game except for like split screen stuff in VR. Moss 1 and 2 remaster coming out for it. Resident Evil Village getting a PSVR update. Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. Tetris Effect. There was another one I saw. Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. And The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. Which is stupid because they're not putting Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 on PlayStation VR. So you won't be able to know the beginning of that story. You won't be able to start with Chapter 2. Which... super stupid. And then they confirmed that there is a Beat Saber is working on a PSVR 2 version, but no word if you can actually bring that over. And then of course Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is like the game to get if you're going to get a PSVR 2. Excuse me. I know I've asked this before, but I always forget. Are y'all getting VR 2, or are you waiting till later, or not at all?
I think I'm gonna get it.
Like
I'm
at
waiting
launch?
till later.
Maybe it depends on tax return money.
Oh yeah, tax return. That's a good way.
But
to
yeah,
get it.
I'm probably gonna get it.
I wonder if it's gonna sell out like the systems did. Like if you will be able to get one, or if it's gonna be like a back ordered nonsense once it finally comes out, where you won't be able to get it.
I feel like they're gonna be more available.
That'd be cool because I'm the type of person. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got the email. Like I could order it direct from Sony, like pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that went out to everybody or if it was like the consoles and they just selected people. I don't remember signing up for it for like an early opportunity to pre-order, but I did get an email from Sony with an offer.
I am the type of person that will impulse buy something like this. So I'll sit here and be like, yeah, I might get it, a couple months, and then I'll see it on the shelf and go, okay, it's mine. And then I'll take it home and then I'll buy $100 worth of stupid VR games. But there's honorable mentions of things that are missing that would make me want to do this. Super Hot and of course Beat Saber are not on this list of games. So Now, while I should, try to branch out and play something new, I really love Super Hot. And it's there's a couple games that kind of sound like they could be something similar to it, like Pistol Whip. There was another one in here too, but I don't see it anymore. But anyway, there's types of games where I feel like they would probably scratch that itch, but it wouldn't be the same as the regular thing. But still, you're talking $600 for a headset, and then I would buy a charging cradle for it. That's $100. We're easily creeping up to the $1,000 between the system, the charging cradles, and all the games that you'd want to buy for it. So,
Right.
Well, now the $600 one comes with the Horizon game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah. So at least you get one game with it. But man, there are some good things here. I've wanted to buy Gran Turismo 7, so buying like that and for the VR version, that would make sense, I suppose. I want to know what NFL Pro Era is, because that's not a Madden game. So, I wonder if it's like kind of like a Football Manager or something, where you're just playing the coach. And then you just put in the
Watching
play.
the game.
Yeah. There's also Job Simulator, which, like, can you imagine? Like, I bought a VR headset so I can go to work on my day off. And What the Bat, which I think you guys have talked about before, right?
Yeah, what the golf was like a great game, and this is made from the same people that made that. But you basically have bats for arms, like baseball bats, and you're trying to do like activities with those.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like a super silly fun game. So
I love it.
And then Job Simulator was a comedy game put out by Justin Roiland?
It's by Owl Kimmy.
Okay.
Same company that did.
I think he
Vacation
put out
Simulator.
something similar to it. I don't know if Job Simulator was Justin Roiland's, but I feel like there was a Job Simulator type game that he did put out.
Okay. But it kind of
was a
reminded
part
me of
of, or-
something, kind of like that. But I know he did the Rick and Morty 3D game, or the Bird VR game, and then the Trover game.
Yeah, those are the only two that I know about other than High on Life,
And then High on Life.
and they're not Justin Roiland games anymore. Rip.
Oops.
Yeah, haha, oops.
Boom, 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 boom.
This got added to the show notes this morning because it was like breaking news. But GoldenEye 007 is coming out on Nintendo Switch Online and Xbox Game Pass this week on January 27th, which is this Friday. So you can go back and relive that old classic game and all of its 2 frames per second and split screen co-op, or you can screen cheat against your family members. And yeah, it's going to be a great time.
And if you have Rare Replay, it's included with that.
Yeah. But the Xbox version is just the campaign with no multiplayer, but the graphics are enhanced. And the Switch version is the original N64 version with it now has online multiplayer, which I find really stupid that the Xbox version does not include online multiplayer or even
That's
at least
odd.
a split screen. But it does include 4K Ultra HD graphics and a 16:9 resolution. So I mean, I guess you have to you get some and you lose some. But I've only ever dabbled with this, so I'm interested to see how bad the controls are. But you will be able to play with 2 sticks even on the N64 version, so maybe that'll make it easier to control instead of using the C buttons to, C button around with, because that seems like that'd be really miserable. But small little thing. Speaking of another small little thing, Pokemon fans upset this week because I love little just odds and ends stories like this. It has nothing to do with like real gaming news, but it's just like here. Apparently, U.S. Customs destroyed a $4,000 sealed copy of Pokemon Yellow because they hate people.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. This kind of relates into something that because I'm blonde. I'm stupid. Sometimes I say dumb things. I got really mad yesterday because I ordered myself and Alex a phone case from this company called Lurvia, and they are in China. They're just like they make custom phone cases or whatever. And the way I was reading the shipping information looked like that my phone case was like I ordered it back in like November, and it shipped out of China on January 3rd, hit the States at January 20th, and then the way it looked like on the tracking information was that it got locked down at U.S. Customs and they mailed it back to China. I was really upset. I was really upset. But then yesterday, my new phone case came in. So it's just
Nice.
like, okay, this is cool as hell. If you're, yeah, if you're not
Yeah,
watching
but
this.
I saw the image of that Pokemon game, and I was my heart was gone. I was like, oh no.
It sucks.
I need more information. Like what brought that decision on? Because like even if you don't know Pokemon, I mean you know grading cases. I mean they're for cards, they're for comic books, they're for a ton of collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
Like what thought process is like I need to open this and then I need to very carefully cut because we've all seen the pictures. I need to
Mm-hmm.
very carefully cut the front piece off. Like I
Yeah,
don't know.
the
I need more context to the story. Like what the hell went on
Mm-hmm.
to end in that?
yeah. So this says, friend of mine received this sealed and graded original copy of Pokemon Yellow. U.S. Customs broke the acrylic case it was in, ripped and discarded the seal, and sliced the front of the box off.
Yeah.
So either they hated the battery inside the cartridge, or they thought it contained drugs or something. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Information on why customs
And
would go to
there's like
such
no
lengths.
liability.
Yeah. Information on why customs would go to such lengths is murky, but according to the Domestic and International Vehicle Shipping Service, the purpose of an inspection by the governmental agencies to prevent the export or import of contraband, counterfeited, improperly declared, prohibited, embargoed, or any other goods that don't meet U.S. customs regulations. Other than the possibility of a package containing some sort of illegal substance, it appears U.S. Customs doesn't need to release a reason as to why an inspection was called in the first place. But I guess they bought this from a company called Wata Games they're like the people that certify games for like collectors and like show like the mint condition of a product or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very unfortunate that something like that, because like this sucks. It's a $4,000 copy of this game, but can you imagine if it was like, I remember hearing about these like original copies of Super Mario Brothers for the NES that they had the little plastic peg hooks on them, so they would just put them on like a peg on a shelf. And those particular copies of that game go for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So can you imagine if they had screwed something like that up? Like this
Yeah,
sucks, but that
and
would
again,
really
there's like
suck.
no liability. You can't do anything.
Nope.
Like there, you're just well. And hold on now. Also, I'd like to say every story I've read says allegedly. Like none of this is confirmed. I don't know anybody who would do that to something like that just for clickbait. But I don't know. This story may also not be real or just fabricated.
I mean, in the picture that they
Possibility.
show, it shows the Wata Game certification thing in the background, but that's pretty much the only real like information that's really present on here that would kind of lead to its credibility.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel like I could duplicate all that.
It's
I mean, maybe it is. I don't want to like it. If you're suffering out there because that was your game, I'm sorry, but they need to change the headline from allegedly to this did happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, it doesn't say allegedly. This says Pokemon fan says U.S. Customs destroyed $4,000 Pokemon game.
Okay, I don't know where I read the article, but they used the term allegedly in their headline. Because I looked at it and I was like, well, I mean, did they or did they not? I mean, that's kind of.
I mean, either way, yeah, it sucks. Speaking of things that don't suck, unless you are Richard, the Last of Us HBO series I promise. So Richard had this issue, and I'm sure he'll go into more detail and explain it. But anytime he was on IGN or on Facebook, he was constantly like every other like article for him was just something about The Last of Us, and I think it's
From
because,
IGN. They post every 20 minutes
but
over the show.
yeah,
And
it's,
obscure stuff like, did you notice the spoon that Joel used in episode 2? It's like, what? Like, it's just, I don't know.
but anyway, Richard was like, I can't. What did you call? You called IGN something else yesterday. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, so Last of Us News Network. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
yeah.
all it is. That's all they post.
So I was trying really hard to not put a news article about The Last of Us in the show notes, but and this isn't about the. I mean, it's kind of about the game, but or the show, but it's mostly just because the HBO series has done such a grand job at bringing on new people to the game, to where the Last of Us Part 1, the PS5 version, the sales have jumped up 238% since the game or since the show came out, which is just ridiculous. Because I mean, a lot of people were like, "I'm not getting that game because it's $70 and it's on PS5. Maybe I don't have a PS5 or whatever." But now it's like, "Oh, the show came out. The show's pretty damn good. I want to play the game." It's like, why would you, first off, why would you do that to yourself? Because you're gonna spoil the show if you play the game now. You either got to be you're committed to one or the other. Like you can't. It was like you either needed to play the game before the show came out, or don't play the game until after the show ends. Which I was telling Alex's fiance that the other day, because she was like, she was trying to get into it, and I was like, okay, well, if you end up liking the show, don't go buy the game, because she was like, why? I said, because it's almost like a case study for me, because I don't know anybody who hasn't played The Last of Us that is watching the show. So I want to get your opinion on the show once it ends, and then go back and play the game and see how you feel about it. But so that's going to be.
I kind of want to go to like an HBO subreddit or Facebook thing and just start spilling the beans.
I mean, you can't really spoil it, because I mean,
yeah, because I mean that there's got to be like a significant percentage of people that are watching the show because of the games, and they're like, I'm watching this, hey, like I'm gonna have a watch party or something and bring people over, and then that's how you're exposing new people to it. But I don't know, the second episode was good, but it was not as good as the first episode in my opinion. But the first episode had a lot that it needed to do to set this up. So but anyway, yeah, if you're a new person to The Last of Us and you're playing the game for the first time, I'm sorry. The opening gut punch, in my opinion, hurts worse in the games than it did in the show. But it also just sucks in general. So sorry you get to relive that moment again and again. And
did she actually eat the hot dog buns?
So in the games,
No.
they never established what caused it. You just kind of just play as it happens, and
well, no, your gut punch moment, she was infected, right?
No,
that's when. Sorry for spoiling this game from 2013. It's whenever Joel's daughter gets killed in the prologue.
I mean, isn't that like the opening cinematic? That's not really a spoiler. That's
no. I mean, it happens.
I don't consider it a spoiler if it happens like in the first like little bit.
It's like you play as Sarah, and then her leg gets broken, and then you start playing as Joel, and then she gets killed like shortly after.
Oh, they think she's infected because her leg is broke?
No, like they don't even like scan her or anything. They just kind of like, he's like, "Hey, sorry." He's like, "Can you?"
they're just there to like eradicate like everyone.
Yeah.
And because I think
okay.
everyone in the city may possibly be infected.
Yeah, there's like this back and forth between Joel and this soldier. And he's like, "Please, I need help." And then he's like on the radio, it's like, "Hey, what do you want me to do about these people?" And he's like, "Sir, there's a little girl here. Are you sure?" And he's like, "Okay." And then he just starts shooting. So then anyway, I just started blasting. But
they should have had Danny DeVito play that part, man. That'd have been awesome.
That would be funny. And now we move into our superhero segment because things have not been looking good for not only the Suicide Squad, but also for the Avengers as well. But we're going to start with the Suicide Squad, and this isn't even confirmed stuff. This is kind of like a leak that got out. Apparently, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is coming out relatively soon, or within this year, supposedly. And it has now been confirmed through a leak that this game is going to feature like a battle pass and like live service elements that people are really just starting to not be fans of. Some of this stuff kind of is what's like the Avengers game has, and now we're starting to see what is happening to the Avengers game a few years down the line. But Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is supposedly going to have, it's going to battle passes and microtransactions that just bog the game down and all sorts of other crap.
Suicide Squad embraces the microtransaction.
Yeah,
it's a new title.
But yeah, and it's one of those things where like a screenshot got leaked, and then it's like, okay, then Warner Brothers takes it down, and it's like, okay, well that kind of confirms that picture was real. So, but I love the Suicide Squad, so like I still want to probably get this game, but I also love the Avengers, and then they said this is a live service game, and I'm like, oh. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how I feel about that, but has this shied either one of you away from getting the Suicide Squad game if you were planning on getting it?
I usually pick up these games whenever they're on sale. So I think I got the Avengers. I got the Avengers. Yeah, I got the Avengers for like $10. So
well, $10 was probably the right price to get the Avengers game because this is our big topic for the week. The Avengers game is ending development. They're no longer going to be adding new content after sometime in March. And then come September, they're going to delist the game to where you'll never be able to purchase it again unless you've had like a physical copy of it. But they're still going to keep the servers on so you can do multiplayer stuff and whatever the campaign stuff. And then the biggest slap in the face to long-term fans is that they're going to make everything on the digital storefront free. So everyone that has put however much money you've put into this game, there is no rebate or anything for this stuff. But to people, like if I went out and bought a copy of this game sometime between March and September, I could get all this stuff for free. So that they're turning it into a real game. That's kind of what this is. It's no longer a live service.
Well, yeah, but game. You know what? You paid for it in the moment. You had it in the moment. That's what you paid for.
Yeah, but think about like, okay, I've been playing Fortnite for as long as that game's been out. No way of telling how much money I've put in that game. And then imagine they say, okay, well, we're going to stop developing Fortnite. It will never happen, but just say that they did. And then, and every single costume we've ever released for Fortnite, we're going to make it available for free on the shop. I would be so mad because I've probably put a good $200-$300 in that game, not including buying battle passes and extra V-Bucks for tiers and all that other stuff. And it's like all of a sudden all that stuff's free. Like that sucks. And the icing on the cake is that Spider-Man will continue to live on as a PlayStation exclusive character even after the game shuts down. So they're not even going to put him on Xbox. But yeah, so March 31st is when it's getting its final update. And then September 30th is whenever they will be taking the game off of the marketplace. So you have a little more time to do whatever you need to do or buy that game. Or I don't even know what the active player base is on that game anymore. It's probably the reason why they're starting to sunset it, because it's just not able to keep up with things anymore. But it was one of those games.
Well, I think when you make like a live game like that, it's important to have like regular content because that's like a big part of live service. And I don't know if they had I mean, yeah, they did put out content. It's not that they didn't, but I don't know if it was that involving and that, that regular that it would keep that kind of a service.
As of this is only the Steam charts. The all-time peak for the Avengers game on Steam was 28,000 concurrent players. As of right now, the average concurrent player count is 288 people that are playing that game. So I mean, obviously you've got PlayStation and Xbox
Dude,
in there
man.
also, but
Those are some Marvel diehards, man. They're playing right now.
yeah.
They're probably crying.
And it sucks because, like, I mean, if the Avengers, which is a very popular, household name, if they can't even, like, make it as a live service game, like, nothing takes down Fortnite and Destiny like, at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And
well, we've talked about that, like, in the past few shows. Like, just developers stop trying. Do something new.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I never played the Avengers, but I feel like it tried to go more towards the Destiny route than anything. So they, it's hard.
I played it. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but I wish it felt more like a single player game and not a live service game.
Hey, on September 30th, it will.
Well, yeah.
Maybe go back and
finally where it needs to be.
Yeah. So yeah, it sucks. I hate it for the 288 people that are still playing it on Steam. But Destiny 2 is still thriving. If you didn't know that, I'm gonna look up just for comparison's sake. I'm gonna look up the player count for Destiny 2 on Steam. Let's just see where we're at here. 55,264 people currently playing as of 7 minutes ago.
Which is crazy because the servers have been down.
Yep. All-time peak on Steam, 292,000 people playing it. I want to get back into playing Destiny, I think. I miss playing that game.
I may jump back in when Lightfall drops at the end of the month.
Yeah, I was planning on jumping back in when The Witch Queen came out, but I never did. But they have crossplay now, so I can play on PC. So that's a plus. Because I love having my PlayStation here, but I spend more time at this desk than anything. And so that's actually all of our news. But I brought a couple of interesting things to kind of just share. Plus, we have a fun returning segment to go over. But this is something that I've seen other people kind of do. And it's to other shows have called this the Nintendo seal of quantity. I didn't want to copy all of it, so I called it shovelwares. And it's pretty much just looking at some of the worst things that came out on the eShop this past week on the Nintendo Switch, because there is no limit to what they will put on there. So just to kind of, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you off the name. This is the full name of these games. And then I will read you off the description for it. And then I want you to try to guess how much this game costs. Because some of these cost way more money than they should. So, here's your first game. Midnight Runner Blade Galaxy Beat Puzzle Legacy 3D Games Ultimate Edition. It is
That's one title?
That's one title. Is a fast-paced 3D platformer where you'll use your parkour skills and your reactions to climb walls, overcoming difficult areas and traps. Let's do it this way. Do you think it costs more or less than $5?
I bet $9, Bob.
Yeah, probably more than $5.
That game is $2.99.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
Go pick it up today.
Your next game is A Troubled Employee. A certain company has a certain amount of space and Z illustration quiz. No description.
Again, that's the title?
Yep, that's the whole title.
Wow. That's a 99-cent game.
It is a $2.50 game.
Oof. That might be overpriced.
This one's my favorite. Counter Bottle Shooter Pro Aim Master Target Bottle Shoot 3D Game Strike Pistol.
Hell, that's AAA, man.
Counter-
$69.96.
Counter Bottle Shooter is a fun game where your objective is to shoot all the bottles while standing still. Complete all the levels within the time limit and also try not to run out of ammo. More or less than $5.
That was more.
It's $3.99.
Oh,
Dang.
Then
We're really bad at this.
this one you have to, I'm going to try to read it in my best interdimensional cable kind of announcer or like a speech voice. But it's called Yeah, Fighting Girl. 5 girls to control, each with unique combat style. 5 girls, different gameplay, different skills, different feel and combat strategies. Go to the arena, earn money, winner take all, but loser take half. Take risk to get rich. Every time the girls enter the arena, they need a challenge from the first. just all over the place.
Dude, I liked that.
What?
I liked that. Not the game, your presentation.
No.
yeah. That was
It's
a good
like-
presentation.
it's like
Seriously,
that-
I did. I like it. And you know what? I heard that Adult Swim is hiring. So
It's
you
like
might
that.
wanna look into
It's like that ad from one of the Rick and Morty episodes where it's like 2 brothers.
Yeah.
They've already cast his replacement. You know that, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's going to do it.
Oh yeah.
Do you think this? Okay. Do you think this game is more or less than $10?
I think that's more than $10.
Yes.
It is $15.
Wow.
And
Yay,
the,
we got one right.
and the last one, Burrow of the Fallen Bear, a gay furry visual novel. Discover romance in a furry fantasy world where player choice matters.
How is it?
How is it? More or less than $10.
Less.
Less.
It is $15.99.
Oh my gosh.
Really? How are the visuals? Is it?
I actually have a link here, but I haven't clicked on it. There's only one picture. Oh, sorry. It is on sale for $15.99. Normally it's $20.
Ooh.
Unless you live in where's it at? So one of the companies didn't have it on sale, I don't think. I just can't convert money in my head. But anyway, this was actually released January 12th, so it's a new game. But it's we'll never get near that. But anyway, I thought there's so many just interesting games. I was like, I need to find some of our own to kind of just go through and like. I saw I was like, I'm gonna just kind of look to see what's on here, and then the minute I saw Counter Bottle Shooter Pro Aim Master Target Bottle Shoot 3D Game Strike Pistol, I was like, I gotta do this. There's no
That's
way
a
I
great
can.
title.
There's no way I can just not do it. And for our last little thing, we're gonna play another round of Tales from the Hard Drive, because anytime there's a very good real life story comes out, I feel obligated to go find 3 fake ones to stump you guys as much as possible. And I just really hope that you guys hadn't seen this in advance, because it was kind of all over the place. So we're gonna at least act surprised if you have seen it. Okay, here's your 4 articles for this week. President Biden announces gaming forgiveness. The U.S. government forgives you for gaming. The second one is Dave Matthews Band reveals Crash Into Me was originally about Crash Bandicoot 2. The third one is new Tetris game features NPC who constantly tells you where to drop the pieces. And 4, YouTube streamers Fish commits credit card fraud while playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Sorry, there's nothing about Elon Musk screwing his monkeys this week.
I think I'm gonna go with the third story
Okay.
as being accurate.
I'm going with the goldfish.
Chase, did you already know the answer to this?
Maybe.
Yeah. So the real story for this week was YouTube streamers Fish commits credit card fraud while playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And you might be wondering how this happens. And so this guy had this some kind of thing mapped out in his fish tank where if the fish swam in front of a certain like direction or something, it would control the character in the Pokemon game. And somehow I didn't watch the whole video, but somehow the fish got onto the home screen and then got on the eShop and then started purchasing things. Which
That is amazing.
so
And I'm glad that happened to that guy.
it's so stupid that like that was even something that could happen. I would definitely be against allowing any kind of animal or I guess it wouldn't really matter with like a Twitch plays or something. You could just make it to where they couldn't hit the home button, and that would solve all the issues. I think. Well, actually, I don't even think that the fish didn't hit the home button. I think the game crashed, and it sent them back to the home screen, and that's what happened. So, because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are a hot mess, right? So, or they, I guess they still are. They were. So, but anyway.
So I wonder how much was charged.
I don't think it was much.
Well, so what it did is
Would he be eligible for a refund?
It leaked his credit card information onto the Twitch stream, but it says after reading the terms of service, the fish closed out of the online store only to launch it again moments later. This time it found its way onto a screen exposing the console owner's credit card information, but it didn't stop its path of destruction there. The fish continued to select on-screen options until it successfully purchased 500 yen, effectively committing credit card fraud. So $5. Luckily, this story isn't all bad news for the owner. The fish did find a way to log into the owner's My Nintendo account and earn a few rewards. It also downloaded the N64 library before turning the console off. So, I mean,
good fish.
Good fish. Like it's like, hey, I caught wind that GoldenEye was coming out Friday. I thought you might want to play it, so I went ahead and downloaded the N64 collection to your Switch. And we're kind of done playing, so I'll go ahead and turn it off for you. How about that?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
A happy ending.
And it's like, hey, and you might need that $5 later, so here, go ahead and put it in your cart for you. So, anyway. I figured that one of you probably had seen that article, but I was like, I'm going to try it anyway, just because it'd be funny.
What did I say was real?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you said it was new Tetris game features NPC who constantly tells you where to drop the pieces.
See, that seems plausible to me.
Sony Interactive Entertainment's new game Tetris Beginnings brings a new twist to the classic puzzle game formula by introducing an NPC who provides constant hints on where the pieces should go. Quote, we developed a more cinematic Tetris experience. You're not just placing Tetraminos in Tetris Beginnings, you're also helping Reese, the young bricklayer prophesized to save the 7 Shape Kingdoms. Discover his hidden destiny, said CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment Jim Ryan. The relationship between Reese and the player is symbiotic. He'll say stuff like, it seems like you can rotate that block, or that L-shaped block might fit in that L-shaped gap, making him indispensable in your quest together. Critics have praised the game's narrative, with special attention being paid to the way it pushes video game storytelling forward by featuring a character who gives you hints without you asking for them and with no way to disable it. Quote, Tetris Beginnings pulls a risky move marrying the traditional puzzler with a cinematic AAA backdrop, but it works better than expected. The dialogue crackles, and every "watch out, another piece is falling" from Reese makes him feel like a fully realized lifelike character. So, there you go.
That sounds amazing.
They should get that out as soon as possible. But that's all I've got for you guys this week. Do you have anything you'd like to plug before we head on out of here?
Feels like I meant to write something down for that, but I can't remember what it was.
How could you? Richard,
I know.
are you going to talk about what's coming out this week, or are you going to wait?
Yeah, no, on Friday, the first episode of Dick Retro.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So watch like sign up, not sign up. I guess you just click for notifications, right?
Yep.
Go ahead and get notifications on our channel, and you will see exactly when it drops on Friday, as long as Mitch gives me the information to drop it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping that in there. And then also, I played the beta of Wayfinder.
And that's all he can say.
And I can't wait for it to come out in June.
He's under an agreement where he's
It's
not allowed
like
to
it was
say
one of the
anything
most
else.
strictest NDAs I have ever seen. I don't know. It said I can't discuss what I played. It didn't say I couldn't discuss the NDA. But it was crazy because while playing the game that I'm refusing to talk about, it's literally there was an overlay that would randomly just put your gamer tag on screen. Like you never know where it was going to pop up. I mean, it was wild.
Interesting.
So yeah, I tried my best to, say and ask the developers, because they had a Discord up, so I was part of that. And just the answer to every question was no. So it comes out in June, and it is cross-platform and cross-save progression. So you can play it on anything and just hop and skip and jump around.
Nice. And
I can't even tell you if it's awesome or not.
Blink twice for yes.
So just just check it out on June 16th.
He only blinked once.
I think it's 16th. I'm pretty sure blinking would be in violation of my NDA. Hang on, let me get you the actual release date. Don't want to leave you without that. It is June 16th. Wow.
I'm assuming there's a trailer I could,
Yeah, you can
snap
see.
and throw it up on the screen here for
there's-
everybody. So
There's if you now strictly talking about the trailer, it has a really awesome kind of, I don't know, I thought it was more of like a World of Warcraft art vibe, but I don't want to plant like a World of Warcraft seed in your head, because that's not what it is. Just watch the trailer.
Oh, there is something that I need to talk about. There is an Xbox Bethesda Developer Direct happening today at 2 p.m. Well, by the time that you are watching this, there was a Developer Direct that happened on Wednesday. Because this will definitely probably not be uploaded until, like, if at the earliest, super late tonight. So it's probably already happened. We're probably going to get a release date for Redfall, which will, I'm going to assume it's going to be April something. They're talking about the new, what is that game, Minecraft Legends? That's the new like big Minecraft game coming out. Redfall, Forza, and then it says ZeniMax Studios. I already forgot what they're working on. They're not the Indiana Jones team, are they?
I think so. They're not talking about Starfield.
Yes.
Because that's going to be a separate thing. And then there's a leaker said there's some game coming out that did Tango, saying it was like Hi-Fi something.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I found the article that said that game just leaked online. I was trying to figure out what the ZeniMax game is.
I need to correct something I literally just said. Wayfinder does not come out June 16th. This says June 16th, 2021.
Oh.
I don't know if they're speaking about another game called The Wayfinder that came out, but it obviously did not release on June 16th, 2021. The only thing I can find on Google about Wayfinder is that early access is coming soon.
Yeah, I did remember the other thing I was going to talk about. I don't think we talked about it on previous episodes, but if you make a free Best Buy account, all your orders now have free shipping.
Nice. Need that.
Yeah.
I love going to Best Buy. It's like my little Disney World. The ZeniMax game is a new expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. So that could if there is a showcase for ESO that's going to be at this developer direct. So they're probably going to be talking about Elder Scrolls Online. And it looks like the release date for Redfall might actually be May 2nd. So Starfield definitely not coming out before the first half of the year, unfortunately. But anyway, if you guys get nothing else, I think we'll leave it there for this week. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, especially so you don't miss Richard's Dick Retro videos premiering on Friday. Join our Facebook group. We're starting to be more active in there, trying to just get community engagement. And also, as a special shout out, one of our biggest fans, Mr. Bulletman4, we know him personally as Max. He was out and about in Portland the other day. I ran into him, and he kind of just shared some very positive stuff with me about how much he loves our show. Not just because we talk about gaming news, but also he uses it as a way to catch up with me. He doesn't really see Richard anymore, so just kind of uses it to keep up with how we're all doing and everything. So just want to give a shout out to Max, one of our super fans of the show, because I love Max.
Wait, hold
Max
on. Awesome. I feel terrible. Who is Max, and how does he know me?
Max Claude.
Oh, Max! Hey, Max! Wow! It's been like 100 years. Literally, the last time I think I talked to Max, he and I had lunch together at Burger King. Eons ago, it feels. Hey, Max.
His heart's gonna sink for a split second, and then it's gonna shoot straight back up. Oh no!
Yeah, no, it's been years. Wow.
I was gonna try not to put his last name in there, but I guess you kind of need that information to figure that out. So, but anyway, love you, Max. Great seeing you the other day, and thank you so much for being our #1 fan of the show. So, means a lot. But anyway, on that note, we'll see you next time, and or see you Friday if you're hanging out with Richard on YouTube. So, have a good one.